Should be looking at the chapter 2.10 guided notes. And this is about percent change. Now, a percent change expresses an amount of change as a percent of an original amount. If the new amount is larger than the original amount, the percent change is called an increase. And conversely, if the new amount is smaller than the original amount, the percent change is called a decrease. And I like to think about percent change this way, and your book does too. It's the amount of change, or excuse me, percent change is the amount of increase or decrease divided by the original amount. So it's the amount of increase or decrease divided by the original amount. Well, let's take a look and let's see if we can make this a little bit more specific. So if the change has increased, then we can think of percent change as new amount minus the original amount all over the original amount. And now here we have an example. So our percent change is equal to, the original amount was 12 and now our new amount is 18. So what we want to do is we want to say, since we've increased, we want to say that we have an 18 minus 12 all over 12. And we can simplify this. 18 minus 12 is 6 over 12, and that gives us 1/2. Or, and really 1/2 is 0.5, right? So 0.5 expressed as a percentage. See, now here we have a decimal. It's not 0.5%. It's really, now moving our decimal, again, 2 units to the right, we can see we got to put a 0 there. So it's really 50%. So from 12 to 18, we had a 50% increase. Not bad. Now, if the change has decreased, get my S in there a little better. So if the change has decreased, then we can think of the percent change as the original amount minus the new amount divided by the original amount. And here we can see we have the original amount is 40.2 and our new amount is 38.6. So we want to put the original amount first in our numerator. Because we got smaller, right? From 40 to 38 we get smaller. So I'm going to write this as 40.2 minus 38.6 all over, and again our original amount was 40.2. And we could do this in our calculator because I cannot do that in my head. Alright, so we have 40.2 minus 38.6, and that gives us 1.6. And that 1.6 is all over 40.2, so I got to divide that by 40.2, and we get, whoa, that's crazy. That's a whole bunch. Well, 0.0398. So let's write that out. 0.0398. That's a 0. Okay, so 0.0398. That's my decimal, so let's change that to a percent. And we can do that by moving our decimal place 2 units to the right. So this is going to be 3.98%. And that's how much we have decreased. So we had a decrease of 3.98%. right, now we have a couple more exercises that I want to do here. So, from 2 feet to 5.5 feet. From 2 feet to 5.5 feet. We want to find out how much it has changed. And now this has increased. So I want to go new amount minus my original divided by my original. So since we're dealing with these mixed fractions a whole bunch, let's change this into a decimal. 5.5 is 5.5 minus 2 all over 2. And 5.5 minus 2 is 3.5 over 2. And again, I need my calculator here. So 3.5 divided by 2 is 1.75. 1.75. So let's write that down. 1.75 is my answer. So did it increase by 1.75%? No. We have to move that decimal place 2 units to the right, and that lets me know I have 175% increase. All right, let's try this one. This one looks a little bit more difficult. So we go from 4,023.52 to 982.13. Now we got smaller here, so we had a decrease. So we want to say original minus new over the original. So here we have 4,000. Oh, I put my, that's not a decimal there. Get this straight. 4,023.52 minus 982.13. All over my original amount, which was 4,023.52. I definitely need my calculator for this one. Okay, so 4,023.52 minus 982.13 is 3,041.39. We have 3,041.39 over 4,023.52. That's a big one. Alright, so we divide that by 4023. Oh, 23.52. What do we get? Oh, that's a big number there, isn't it? 0.7559. Okay, let's write that down. 0.7559. Now notice I stopped after 4 decimals there. And whenever we look at percentages as decimals, in general we use 4, because when I turn this into a percent, I go 1, 2 to the right, and that tells me now I have 75.59% decrease. So we have decreased 75.59%. So I want to jot down the homework for this section. So the 2.10 homework, we're going to do problems numbers 7 through 12 and 25 through 30 all. I want to get those in there because these are all really, really good problems to do.